everybody. This is my request video number 2. I'm going to call the bookcase browsing video request video number 1. I'm fairly sure I've done request videos before, but can't remember what they were. So the bookcase browsing will be request video number 1. This is request video number 2 for Ant from 7K Blades. He's the same Ant as in Ant While Camping. Both very good channels, check them out. There will be a request video number 3 for Mr. Spearman over in South Kakalaki. That may well be the next video that I make, but for now, this video for Ant, he suggested I do some recommendations, you know, favourite 3 knives below 20 quid, favourite 3 knives below 40 quid, favourite 3 knives below whatever. So I'm going to do that in principle, but I'm going to use slightly different thresholds, price brackets, and I'm just going to pick 2 in each one. Because there's no point recommending knives that I've got no experience of, they're all things that are in my collection that you've seen before. So I won't go into any great detail on each knife. You can always refer back to the earlier videos. So let's crack on. Okay, so we start off with the bottom price bracket under a tenner. Now £10, if you're lucky and if that's your sort of thing, will probably get you a packet of fags and a pint of beer. It's about €12.50 or about $17. So California Prepper, if you're watching, that's why I've not done an entry to your $8 challenge, because $8 equivalent over here won't get you anything, certainly not anything worth talking about. So fixed blade under 10 quid, it's the Halter 4s, very much in the same vein as Mora Clipper, Mora Companion. This one's the rubberized handle, stainless steel blade. It doesn't come with a polished blade. I polished that myself. It's quite a matte finish like this. But nonetheless, I think I paid £8 for this, so we're well inside the threshold. Don't know what the steel is. It's Japanese stainless, that's all we know. But it does take a nice edge. I've put the lanyard on myself, as you can probably tell, because it's a bit basic. But if you can't stretch the budget to a Mora, that is an extremely good alternative. Folding knife under 10 quid has to be an Opinel. Ideally, I would have said the Opinel number 10. This is my old carbon steel one. You can tell it's an old one because apart from the condition it's in, it's all scratched up. It doesn't have the notch in the locking collar, which would lock it in the closed position. You can only lock it open. I've had to grind the blade back a little bit there because over the years it's got very wavy. This lack of the locking notch means it must be a good 12 years old or more, this. Ideally I wanted to say an Opinel number 10. Last time I bought one you could get one for a tenner. They're a bit hard to find now in the UK, the number 10s. I've bought one recently, but I had to buy it from a retailer based in the Netherlands. You should certainly get a number 9 or a number 8. So whereas this has got a 10cm blade, the number 8, which seems to be the popular one, would have a 8cm blade. So those are my choices for under a tenner. The next price bracket I'm going to say is under 20 quid, which is probably the first level where you start to get some real choice. £20 is €25, thereabouts, $34. The folding knife I've chosen is the Mam Iberica Grand. This is I think it's a 95mm blade. It's a liner lock, so although it's a solid beech handle with a metal reinforcing collar, we have got a small liner lock there. Very thin blade. Clearly a related style to the Opinel, but with a different locking mechanism. That's I think about £13. So well within the £20 bracket. Lots to choose from there, but I like that one. The obvious fixed blade in the sub 20 is going to be the Mora Companion, I suppose. Everybody bangs on about Mora Companion with good reason. One thing a lot of people say is they don't like the plastic sheath, but the plastic sheath is brilliant. So I've chosen this one instead. The Frost Mora Scout 39. 20 quid, and you get a leather sheath, and not half bad leather sheath either at that. It's a bit smaller than the Companion, but you get a nice shiny 12C27 Scandi blade, solid wood handle, it's a rat tail tang wedged in, and then the leather sheath has a little plastic liner so you don't slice it up, and it's stitched and riveted, and for 20 quid that's really nice. Not many people seem to make much fuss about these, but I really want to bang the drum for them because I don't want the buggers to stop making them. So under 20 quid, €25 or $34 thereabouts, Mora Scout 39 and the Mam Iberica Grand. The next price bracket we're going to look at is up to £40, so that'd be €49 or about $67. Although my thing is really traditional knives, I'm not against modern designs. The more tactical knives are a bit lower down my list, but if you get a modern design with a bit of style, I'm all in favour. This is the CRKT Liangmar number 5. Selected this one because it is a bit different, and it's also theoretically UK legal. And this is about £37, and what we've got is, it's a slip joint, but it's open frame construction. It's not a spring in the back. We've got a ball bearing detent at 90 degrees, and then a ball bearing detent at fully open, 180 degrees. And there perhaps you might be able to see the open frame construction. Hollow ground blade, nice and comfortable in the hand. Pocket clip is one position only, and I will probably take that off and just carry it in the pocket. But that is a nice knife. With the big finger choil there, you're not going to close it on your hand. There's no reason why a good slip joint design should be any less safe than a locking blade. And then my second choice in the sub 40, I think we need to get a Swiss Army knife in of some description, and I think it will be a wasted opportunity if we overlook the Victorinox Forester. The dual density, meaning the textured grips, and this is the one-handed opener. which I'm going to fumble. Part serrated blade. As I say, all of these knives have had a full video, so I'll not go through all the functions, but it's got everything you'd expect. It's got a big, good saw, can openers, bottle openers, the screwdrivers, corkscrew, the little glasses screwdriver isn't extra, I've put that on, but this is a good size. I do have the Wenger Ranger grip, and I've carried that on in a belt pouch, and that's a bit big and heavy for a belt pouch, whereas this is about as big as you're going to get and still be quite practical, quite manageable. And that's a liner lock on the main blade. So those are my two choices for up to £40. The final price bracket I'm going to look at is £100 to £150. That's 125 to 185 euros, or about $170 to $250. £100 to £150 is quite a wide price bracket, but the reason for that is both of these knives, although the supposed retail price is around about £150, if you look round, they can both be found at a range of prices from about 100 up to about 150. First one is the Felkniven U1. This one is theoretically UK legal. It's a sub 3-inch slip joint. This one has the bone handle scales. Don't think you'll find the bone ones anymore. They've not been available from Felkniven for some time now. And in fact I got this one massively reduced directly from them, because I think that was the point they were discontinuing the bone scales. I got it for 75% off. So even with the taxes and the shipping, it was still half the price you'd pay from a UK retailer. Laminated 3G steel for the blade, and one of the best factory edges on a folding knife that I've come across. Probably not the best. I think the Mazzerinati in S35VN does just pip it, but that is lovely. Again, it's a bit modern for my taste, but I think it's well done. It's quite stylish, quite well made. And let's be honest, we could all do with a Felkniven in the collection, couldn't we? So that's the folder. And then the fixed blade, that's my final choice, and we're still in the £100 to £150 bracket. We've got the Carrisuando Scarp Cint. Now this is basically the same as a lot of the Carrisuando Scandi knives. Curly birch handle, antler insert, brass front piece, Scandi grind, but this is RWL 34 rather than, I think they're usually 12C27 from Sandvik. So this one is a bit dearer than the equivalents with the Sandvik steel, but this is an absolute lovely knife. It's a bit heavy. If you're comparing it to using a plastic handled Mora, there is a bit of weight in it, but it doesn't feel heavy and clumsy, it just feels solid and reliable, and it's very, very pretty. And it comes with a decent leather sheath, The leather's quite thin, but it has a rigid plastic insert, which means it's more than up to the job. So there we go, Felkniven U1 and Carrisuando Scarp Cint. Those are my selections. Bring more back in, let's see if we can just get them all on the table. Just while I'm waffling on a little bit. So 4 price brackets. I think in each of those price brackets, from basic beer money, at where we're going, basic beer money at this end of the table, up to some quite, for my budget, quite expensive pieces at this end. I think there's plenty to choose from out there, and there's certainly no excuse for picking a crap knife. So I'll just slide that a little bit. There you go, Ant. That's my recommendations. Thanks for watching.